The structure of the regiments raised from the world of Belis Corona closely follows the Cadian scheme. 1st Regiment has 3 companies, each with 9 platoons, 3 squadrons within a platoon. This means 27 platoons, that is 81 squads within a regiment. With the non-combatants serving the regiment, mechanics, priests, commissars, doctors, etc., the strength of the regiment can easily reach 1,000 men. Because of their unique culture, the Belis Corona regiments use different names for the same ranks within the Astra Militarum. Colonels are referred to as Knight Marshals, Captains, Knight Superiors, Lieutenant, Knight Centurion, Sergeant, Knight Prefect, and Guardsmen as Knights. The structure of the 55th. Company Old Guard, 315 men. Commander, Potius Veranius Segestus, Knight Superior. The first consists of the toughest, most grizzled soldiers within the regiment who can stand their ground in any situation. Any soldier of the regiment feels honoured if they are called to serve within the ranks of the Old Guard. Subordinates. Platoon, 35 men. Commander, Titus Tertius Censius, Knight Centurion. Platoon, 35 men. Commander, Titus Galerius Canio, Knight Centurion. Platoon, 35 men. Commander, Marcellus Spurianus Eliphas, Knight Centurion. Company, The Faithful, 315 men. Commander, Servius Gratius Eliphas, Knight Superior. The soldiers of the 2nd are famous for their trust, which is truly hard to earn. However, once someone can earn it, the 2nd will follow him or her right into the Eye of Terror. They are zealously faithful to the Adeptus Ministorum and believe in the legend of Atheros Blackblade. Subordinates. Platoon, 35 men. Commander, Gallus Tremelius Romanus, Knight Centurion. Another platoon, 35 men. Commander, Appius Mucius Regulus, Knight Centurion. And a 3rd platoon, 35 men. Commander, Cossus Massilius Tyrannus, Knight Centurion. Company, Executioners, 315 men. Commander, Amulius Calidius Stichus, Knight Superior. The 3rd is made up of the most cruel men within the regiment. They are the most brutal and somehow creative close-quarter fighters from the 55th. Sometimes they are too eager to start a bayonet charge or to use their knives instead of their rifles. The traditional weapon of their Knight Superior is a relic power fist. Subordinates, yet again 3 platoons. Platoon 1, 35 men. Commander, Cassius Pomponius Ordens, Knight Centurion. Platoon 2, 35 men. Commander, Spurius Stertinius Leontius, Knight Centurion. And Platoon 3, 35 men. Commander, Lucius Sitius Nicasius, Knight Centurion. Within the culture of the Belis Corona military, the flags of each regiment occupy a really important part. These flags complete with the names of heroes who did fighting for the regiment. In their beliefs, the honor of the regiment lied with these flags, so losing these standards are the greatest imaginable shame a regiment can suffer. In these situations, the men use every resource available to recover it. In the time of the Fall of Cadia, the 55th received their order to retreat within the walls of Castle Craf, where they had to defend the gates as long as they could. The marching 55th already saw the walls of the Castle when the first traitor Astartes elements started to appear in their backs. The foul monster started a charge against the rearguard of the 55th, but the Emperor's angels arrived from the skies in the form of the assault marines of the 3rd Company of the Raven Guard chapter. The commander of the strike force, Captain Morel, dismissed the request to accompany the 55th and stayed to cover their retreat. After they arrived within the safe walls of Castle Craf, the 55th sent their patrols out to find any remaining Raven Guard Astartes. Sadly, they came back only with the personal banner of the deceased Captain Morel, which the regiment considered holy from this day onward. A whole new NCO rank called Signifer had been created to carry this banner and to enthuse the men, telling them this heroic story, which changes a bit every time a new Signifer rises. Within the chaos of the last hours of the Fall of Cadia, an Emperor's champion of the Black Templars chapter somehow joined the remains of the 55th and inspired them with his aura. Finally, when the hordes of chaos had broken through the lines of the 55th, Atheros was the one who commanded the countercharge. When the swarming enemies, including traitorous Astartes elements, finally killed Atheros, there were no living elements of the 55th on the surface of Cadia. they died fighting back to back with their holy savior from the Adeptus Astartes. In the time of the Battle of Mordian, the 55th defended the Tetrarchal Palace so heroically that the commanding officers of the Mordian Iron Guard agreed that the 55th deserved the highest award a Mordian regiment can ever get. After the end of the battle, the officers were invited to a banquet where the Mordians asked them to name one officer from the ranks of the 55th to get the award. However, none of the officers wanted to accept it because they felt like it was too big of an honor to any non-Mordian officer to hold. In the end, the award was given to the whole regiment and not a single individual. To symbolize this, every soldier has a white, painted iron cross in their right shoulder, and from then on, the Mordian regiments had a great impact on the uniforms of the 55th. The combat uniform of the regiments from the system of Belis Corona could be easily mistaken for a parade uniform. The main task of this tight uniform is to discipline the guardsmen in every waking moment of their day by not letting them any moment of physical rest. As a uniform, there is also the task to help separate the subunits from each other. The militaristic culture of the Belis Corona system is really old, reaching back to the first colonists who arrived from the ancient kingdom of Frank. From this point onwards, every regiment raised in the system has the classical equipment originated from the first inhabitants of the colony ships. In practice, this means a bearskin shako with an iron plate at the front carrying the regimental number, and a dark blue jacket with a facing color changing from legion to legion. The first has blue, the second green, the third yellow, the fourth orange, the fifth red, and finally the sixth purple. The soldiers of Belis Corona also carry their Adeptus Militorum issue lasgun, and every proper guardsman has a Montmorency pattern close combat sword to use in vicious close quarters fighting, or, as most commonly used, in fair duels against each other, or sometimes notable officers of neighbouring regiments. Chronology 392 M41. The founding. The Belis Corona system raises the 5th Legion, which consists of 10 regiments from the 50th to 59th regiments. From 392 to 400 M41, the 5th Legion participates in the Macarian Crusade under Lord General Sejanus in the 2nd Army Group. From 400 to 405 M41, the 5th Legion is on a peacekeeping mission within the planets of the Brightwater system. From 405 to 408 M41, under the Macarian heresy, the whole 2nd Army Group stays loyal to the Guard Emperor and fight for War Master Solon. From 408 to 428 M41, garrison duty within the Calastin sector. From 428 to 500 M41, continues fighting in the Calixis sector with the 5th Legion against the forces of the Severan Dominate. In one of these engagements, the 55th earns the Ribbon Intrinsic Award. 500 M41, the regiment is betrayed, then totally wiped out on the planet Malfi. 755 M41, the second founding. For the personal request of War Master Slado, the units of the 5th Legion are either refunded or called back from the front lines. From 755 to 778 M41, serving under Lord General Barthol van Voits, the regiment fights on countless planets on the Sabbat sector. It's here where they meet with the famous Stanith 1st Regiment. From 778 to 784 M41, the 5th Legion is on a peacekeeping mission within the planets of the Acilia 9 system. From 784 to 788 M41, the whole 5th Legion participate in the Martian Crusade. From 788 to 942 M41, heading to join the gathering forces of the Achilles Crusade, the transport ship of the regiment had been lost in a warp storm. From 942 to 949 M41, the Inquisition observed the 55th Regiment on the planet Redacted, not understanding how they could stay alive for almost 200 years in the warp. They can't find anything suspicious, so they qualify it as a miracle. 949 M41, the 55th Regiment participates in the Battle of the Solarian Gate. From 949 to 959 M41, peacekeeping mission in the planet of Piscina 4. From 959 to 961 M41, joining up with the 5th Legion fighting in the Pandorax campaign. From 961 to 986 M41, fighting with Tyranids in the Liquitar system on the planet Corianis. From 986 to 999 M41, garrison duty within the Belis Corona system, mainly on the planet Bellisima. 999 M41. The 5th Legion strengthens the defenses of Cadia, then all regiments were wiped out on the planet. Only the commanding officers of some regiments can escape to the phalanx in the last minute. 001 M42. The 3rd Founding. The Administratum newly raises the regiments of the Legion and sent them to the surface of Laurentex. From 001 to 006 M42, the 55th fights in the Cadian fronts for 5 years. From 006 to 008 M42, the 55th joins the forces of the Stygius Crusade and help purge the unclean. 008 M42. Participation in the Battle of Mordian. From 009 onwards in the 42nd millennia, fighting in the Vigilus system, defending Mortwald Hive.